everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be reading the shortest books on my TBR. Ironically, this is not like a catching up on my Goodreads goal or anything like that video. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to get all these random short stories I have, put them all together and get them read. So the first one I read was The Arch-Conspirator by Veronica Roth, and I gave this like 3 stars, 3.5 stars, and this was 112 pages, so I think this is the longest of my shortest books. And I enjoyed this. This is like a dystopian sci-fi retelling of Antigone, and I always love a fantasy retelling, so this was quite fun. I think it was such an interesting lens to like view this through. I would never have thought of this retelling. I did really like seeing these characters kind of in this situation, in this setting, particularly Antigone. She just kind of like did very well in this, and I really liked seeing the relationships and stuff as well. I do think though the parts I enjoyed the most were like the Greek tragedy-esque parts. I'm really not a dystopian or sci-fi lover, so I do think like that part I didn't love. I didn't love the ending either because it just kind of was like not what I was rooting for. So yeah, that's kind of just on me. Like I knew what it was going into it. But I do think if you like Veronica Roth, it's very well written. If you like Veronica Roth, if you like sci-fi and stuff, you'll love this. It's very short, but it really does pack a good punch for such a short book. The next book I read was Lovers at the Museum, which was by Isabel Allende, and I gave this 2 stars. This was about 25 pages, and we are basically following a detective who turns up because there's been like a burglary or break-in at this museum, and what it is a runaway bride who has been like missing, and then this random guy found naked in this museum. So they're trying to work out what happened because there was no alarms, there was no like CCTV footage, any of that. It was fine. Like I think I don't really know how to describe this book. The detective was a fun character. I really enjoyed him. He was a bit like just done with life, and I kind of like that vibe. There was kind of a magical realism element to it, which I didn't really enjoy. And yeah, I don't know. I just didn't really like. It was just kind of whatever. It's just like I didn't really get the point of it. I don't think it really got any like message across. It kind of tried to be a bit deep with like, oh, love, whatever, but it was just like, okay. The like bride ran away and the guy that she was with was just like some random dude, and it was just weird. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it went over my head and I just didn't get it, but I just was like, okay, that's something, I guess. Yeah, I mean the museum setting was fun, but overall it was just a bit meh. But this is off my Kindle TBR, which was nice, so that's one ticked off of that. The next book I read was The Rise by Ian Rankin, which was about 86 pages, and I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed this. This is like a kind of classic locker room mystery type vibe. So there's someone like this high, I think it's the tallest building or the most expensive, some really exclusive like apartment building. Someone is murdered, and these 2 detectives are going and trying to work it all out. And I honestly felt like this packed the same as like a full-length mystery novel. It was really interesting. We got to know the detectives really well. We got to connect with some of like the suspects and the different characters. There were decent twists and turns, and it was an interesting mystery, which I enjoyed. I don't know that I found the like solution to the mystery super satisfying, but I really did enjoy the whole process. And yeah, like I said, like it was surprising how well this was done and like how much they got into the book without it feeling rushed. So it was a really pleasant surprise. And yeah, it definitely made me want to read more from Ian Rankin. Yeah, it was a very good book. So I would highly recommend this. It's a very quick read. And it's definitely a page turner. The next book I read was Staged by El Cosimano. This is 23 pages. And I gave this 3 stars. This was fun. This is following a woman who, and like her sidekick type bestie, who is a real estate agent, and she's trying to stage this house for this big showing, and it's like putting all this money into it. Her friend is helping her, and then there's a murder, and they have to like work out what's going on. In 43 pages, that was a lot. This is basically Finley Donovan and Vero in a different vibe, like in a different setting, which I did enjoy. It was kind of like fun seeing them in a different industry, I guess. But yeah, there's not much to this relationship and to this book other than that kind of like dynamic. And I do love Finley and Vero, so I really didn't hate it, but it was just like, it was nothing new. It was nothing super special. If you've read Finley Donovan, I would definitely recommend picking this up because it's, it's a quick read, it's fun. But yeah, there was nothing groundbreaking or anything. The mystery was not as interesting or as crazy as the Finley Donovan ones. Obviously, like, it's 43 pages, but I do think they got a lot into such a short, like, page count. It didn't feel rushed or anything, and it did feel very well fleshed out. We kind of get to, meet these characters, and we feel like we get to know them pretty well. And the mystery is, like, decently set up. So I would really recommend this if you like Finley Donovan, or just even if you're wanting, maybe you're considering reading Finley Donovan and you don't want to invest the time, read this first, because it's kind of a similar vibe. The last book I read was Your Guide to Not Getting Murdered in a Quaint English Village by Maureen Johnson, illustrated by Jay Cooper. This is about 128 pages, and I gave it 5 stars. I have loved this book. I've seen it around. I bought it for my mom actually a couple of years ago for Christmas, and I've seen it in, like, bookshops and stuff, but never picked it up. And I actually accidentally ended up reading it while sitting in a bookshop like a couple of weeks ago. I love this. 5 stars. It's just so fun. The illustrations are beautiful. It's, like, so creative, and it's just, I think any mystery lover would love this book. Like, it's just so fun. I'm such a lover of, like, Midsummer Murders, like the Quaint English Village murders are my cup of tea. I just love them. So this was so funny. Like, it had me giggling to myself, and it was just such a fun tone. And I really enjoyed it. I was kind of surprised actually, because I've read Maureen Johnson's what's it called? Truly Devious series, and it was good, but it just, like, I don't know. I didn't have high hopes after realizing that this was by the same author, but I loved it. It just had such a fun tone to it. And yeah, so I would highly, highly, highly recommend this book. And yeah, it's like a graphic novel type thing. It's not a graphic novel, but it has illustrations and, like, short little paragraphs with it, so it's quite a quick read. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm very happy because I got 2 books off my Kindle TBR, and I think, maybe I'll have a new author to explore. So I really enjoyed that. Please let me know in the comments below if you guys have read any of these and what your thoughts were, or if you have any other short story recommendations for me. And yeah, hope to see you guys in another video soon. Bye!